After cutting it round, the next step I'm taking is to clean up the edge. I'm just using my old DeWalt palm sander and I'm going around it. This saw blade left a much rougher cut, which I suppose to be as expected considering what I did to it, but it left a much rougher cut. Sanding, smoothing, flattening is about as straightforward as any other table. The epoxy does make things a little gummy, and you have to run your sander at its lowest settings. And you let things cool, then you come sand again, then you let things cool, and you come sand again. So, other than that, being a little slower, it does go basically like normal. So this is the bottom, and then I'll get a coat of poly on the whole thing, so it has a chance to soak in and kind of help even out the moisture loss with the top side. So there I have this just lightly standing there on its side. I've used a bit of tape to rebuild the broken edge. I'm using 90-minute epoxy, a little faster stuff. I think that's fine for me. I actually kind of like it showing just a bit like that on the edge. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself, because there ain't much I can do about it. These are two bad spots that got exposed when the table was cut down to size. So what I've got going on here is I'm just wicking epoxy in, filling up this bark. I'm not worried about bringing it to the surface. I just don't want it to be a crack point. And then this was a crack that was already starting, and that opened up basically overnight when I exposed all this extra wood to drying effects. So I have, for the last couple of hours, been wicking water fine epoxy down inside, and you can see it should be filling all the way up to the top. And when that happens, it'll be done and it won't crack anymore. The Munchkin and I are just out here doing some sanding, and I've switched to my half-sheet sander because it's far less likely to dig in. And it's just an ancient Craftsman that I got somewhere, and I had to put my own switch in it. Tabletop is looking okay. Got my helper. So now it's just a matter of sanding until you think it's done, then going over the whole thing 2 more times, then switching to a finer grit, then finding out that you should have gone over it 3 more times with the other grit and going back. But that is the way it rolls. Huh, buddy? Here we are, approaching the end of the 100 grit sand. And I'm rotating the table in a circle, shining light across it, trying to hunt for belt sander marks. And I still have a few, though I doubt the camera will pick them up. ABC, yeah. Here we are at the end of 150 grit. What do you want, buddy? AB. AB? Okay. I'll find an A and a B in a sec. End of 150 grit, about to go to 220, only because that's the only step I have. I'll keep the 150 in the small palm sander because you'll absolutely run across some scratches that were missed as the light changes and whatnot. So I'll do that. It'll allow me to pop those scratches out much faster. If you don't have 2 sanders, you just have to keep swapping back and forth. Here we are at what I think is the end of 220 grit, and I will go to 320, which is actually my next step, because again I have a jump. But you're starting to see some natural luster in the wood with all this beautiful figure quilting here. Looking good. I've spun this, I've shined a light across it, and I can't see any swirl marks. Normally 220 is where I would stop. What? What? Please what, buddy? Please what? Yes, mess on the floor. What do you want?
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you. I can feel it. Huh, I can see it in the camera, but I can't see it with the naked eye. There's something right there. So I guess I'm not done. I gotta dig that out, whatever it is. But after that, I'm done. Some some nice quilting showing up in there. The tabletop is designed to invite you to run your fingers over it, to rub it, to twist it, to look from all different angles. So it's really important to me that I get all the swirlies out, because it would embarrass me if you spent most of your time looking at all the different little swirlies. And I think it's pretty close. Looks pretty good. So we're ready to move on to the final grade of sanding. Why? Because Daddy's a pig. That's why it looks like that. What else you want to know? Please? Yeah, you're a bit of a pig yourself, buddy. No? Okay. So here we are at the end of 320. It's got a really nice natural luster. You could wax this right now to that tiger stripe. It's looking really good. So what I'm going to do now is prep the room to spray really quick. And so I spray with a really low pressure, and I'll take a broom to all the above surfaces, the lights, the ceiling, everything else. Then I'll walk away for 3 hours, and then I'll come back out and very carefully spray. Oh, look at that. And now everybody can see Daddy's mess. He can't hide it because it's in the background. Can you wave bye-bye? Good job.